Basically, I got with this girl and she's 15 years old, and that was the situation. After the fact, I found out that she was 15 and I still kept talking to her. So much so that I asked to FaceTime fuck, which is
There's an event going on in Los Angeles that Gemini was attending. And I had Gemini on staff and he asked me to come over. The first night he asked me to come over, it was a Thursday, and I said no because I had school the next day. And then the next day he asked me again to come over, and I told him I couldn't go over there, I couldn't drive because I was 15, and I told him that in bigger hole. So in a moment of weakness, I agreed, and I got in the Uber and I went over there. Now I'm not going to go into details as of what happened in the hotel.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today's video is going to be talking about a man by the name of Gemini. Gemini became very popular around mid-2020, and his exposure led around late 2020, around December. Gemini was very well known for his duets and stitches on the app of TikTok. As a matter of fact, he blew up from one little trend alone, a trend which I would like to say that he created. The trend would have two people bickering back and forth, a female asking for a peppermint and then him saying you can have one, the female spitting it out, and then him yelling at the female for spitting out the peppermint. In all facts, and I'll be completely honest, it was probably one of the dumbest fucking trends I ever laid my eyes upon. I'm going to show you the peppermint trend now, but I'm going to leave out the sound due to the fact that it just might be copyrighted. Gemini in every single "can I have a peppermint" video that he would record, out of the possibly 100s that he would make, he would always do those really stupid facial features and try to pass it off as comedy instead of him just acting like a complete imbecile. This whole beef, drama, and exposure of Gemini happened extremely late 2020, and it originally started out, from what I can tell, with a woman by the name of Ruby. Ruby was the first person to bring Gemini's predator-like tendencies to light, and in turn of her doing that, she lost over 50,000 followers and was called a liar and shamed. After Ruby made a video with the allegations towards Gemini, Gemini made a video back saying it was all a lie, as well as talking to multiple people saying it was all a lie, calling her a liar, and basically saying everything she said was false and fabricated. But little did majority of the people watching this beef unfold on the public space of TikTok know that Ruby was actually telling the truth. Now you will have to pause a lot of that video that I just showed you. It's 16 seconds long, but there's a lot to unpack there. I highly suggest stopping the video and reading it all for yourself. Right after that video was made, Ruby was then called out and called a liar by multiple people, including Gemini. He would go on to just completely make a bunch of claims saying that it was all false and fabricated, but people would learn shortly after that this transpired that was not the case.
To all the people who are saying that I initiated the conversation and that he didn't know my age, here you go. This is the last time we talked, July 21st. And now, it says yesterday, he started the conversation, he said something first. Therefore, he initiated the conversation asking about my ex. Second of all, this proves that he knew my age. He literally says right here, at first I didn't know how old you were, and then he knew my age, and then he still complimented me. He literally called me a cutie, and he wanted to FaceTime and asked me if I wanted to talk after he knew I was 16. I really need you guys to listen to me and to believe me on this, because I literally have all the proof. This guy does not have any proof. Come on guys, seriously?
This was one of the major turning points in this entire drama, as Ruby was now giving full-blown proof as to why Gemini was a bad person, although people would still go on to defend Gemini and he would still deny the claims. Since all this drama did happen 3 years ago, it was a lot harder to find all the clips than you would think. But then someone stood out even more. Someone came out and started talking about the situation much more. A 15-year-old girl by the name of Lili stepped out into the spotlight to start talking about the situation and her experiences with the 19 to 20-year-old man Gemini. Shortly after Lili's video came out, Gemini came out about a day after with a 6-part apology video, and it wasn't even just 6 parts. He technically had a 7th part that he titled The Conclusion, like he was writing the fucking ending to his final in English class.
There's an event going on in Los Angeles that Gemini was attending. And I had Gemini on staff and he asked me to come over. The first night he asked me to come over, it was a Thursday, and I said no because I had school the next day. And then the next day he asked me again to come over, and I told him I couldn't go over there, I couldn't drive because I was 15, and I told him that. And a few hours later, around midnight, he asked me to come over again and offered to get me an Uber. I was already in a pretty bad mental space at the time, and I had just had something happen that day that put me into an even bigger hole. So in a moment of weakness, I agreed and I got in the Uber and I went over there. Now, I'm not going to go into details as of what happened in the hotel, but
in that same video, Lili goes on to say that, I'm not going to tell you what happened in that motel, but I'm sure that you could guess what happened in that motel, hinting towards sexual activity between the two people. Gemini knew that the young lady would not be able to drive to a motel to meet him due to the fact that she wouldn't be legally allowed to drive given that she was at the age of 15, so he ordered her an Uber and had her Uber over to his motel. So shortly after, the man that has the same teeth that look like the fucking zipper on my coat came out with an apology video. I'm going to show you a majority of this apology, but it is so damn long. All parts of the apology are like 5 minutes and 30 seconds put together, and that's not even counting his 60-second long conclusion statement like he was writing the end of his thesis. So without further ado, I'm going to show you a very large portion of this guy's apology video, and I want you to be ready to be shocked.
A series of videos just explaining and owning up and taking accountability. As many of you know, there's been a bunch of drama going down, particularly with this girl named Lili. Now, I'm not going to explain the story because I'm sure that there's many stories around everyone's accounts or on people's Twitches or whatever, but basically I got with this girl and she's 15 years old. Now, I do want to say that I really didn't know that she was 15 when I got with her, but I paid for her Uber, she came and hang out with me, we got with each other, and that was the situation. After the fact, I found out that she was 15 and I still kept talking to her. So much so that I asked to FaceTime fuck, which is completely disgusting.
Right there you witness him saying that even though he knew she was 15, he still wanted to keep going and continue going to the point where he tried to get another round with her. But this time virtually through the phone. The Rizmaster here that we are seeing, his special move is hiding in the bottom of the McDonald's ball pit and trying to grab at young people's legs. But without further ado, because I know all of you are itching to see this apology video, this terrible admission of guilt, I'm going to show it to you guys so we can get this over and done with.
Now, of course, I know this is a serious situation, and I know that a lot of people go through serious situations like this. People were asking me, well, why did you keep her in your phone? Why did you keep talking to her? And it was because I didn't want to block her or run away. I know that what I did was wrong, and I made sure that she was okay because I didn't know. And I kept her in my phone because if she wanted to go legal or take action or talk about the situation, she has my information to do so. So why did you ask her to FaceTime fuck after you knew how old she was? I don't know. I can't.
So let's get one thing pretty damn clear here between the two of us, Gemini. You kept her in your phone so that she would be able to sue you for a lot of things due to the disgusting behavior that you had, and it wasn't anything to do with the fact that you're a fucking pedophile. Now, I don't know what hunch that's giving me. Maybe it's the forced ghost of my great-great-great-grandfather, but something's telling me that you kept her in your phone because you are attracted to minors.
And answer that. Super disgusting of me, and I've never really done that to anybody. Of course I flirt, and of course I can be excessive, but I never forced this girl to do anything, or I never manipulated her or built a relationship with her at all. I do care about her health, and I do care about people's well-being.
See, what I interpreted from what you just said, Gemini, is that you said that you didn't force her to do anything and she did it of her own free will and consent. But let me tell you something, Gemini. Here's a little secret that we can keep between the two of us, I guess, if you want to. And that's that, children, they can't consent.
Go after kids? No. Do I intentionally attack or abuse or go after TikTok children? No. I am sorry to Lili and her family and to any of other creators or people who have been affected by this whole situation. I never meant for any of this to happen.
For the rest of the apology, it's him just saying the same nonsensical shit over and over and over and over again. Gemini was actually banned after all this happened, and then he made a comeback to the platform shortly after getting caught for doing the same thing again from what I know. This is ultimately going to wrap things up for today's video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope everybody watching has an extremely lovely day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.